we are back with Laurie Gerber, my life coach from Handel Group, and I'm so excited to share with you this third tip. I hope you have enjoyed the last two videos that you've seen with the two of us, and this tip was just epic. It was such a game changer for me because literally in the span of a week of doing this, nothing much changed in my life in this week, right? Like everything was pretty much still going the same. I was having the same amount of appointments and friend meetings and all the things, right? But my level of happiness shifted incredibly. Okay? And woo! And so what Laurie had me do was called a thought log. And so feel free to chime in, correct me here if I need to be corrected. But I would set an alarm on my phone like 3 times a day at different times, and whenever the alarm went off, I would go to the notes sections in my phone is what I would do, and just write down whatever thoughts were in my head at that for like a minute. And sometimes, you know, if you're in having one of those days, there was a lot of thoughts. And then I just compiled them all, and I went back through, and I actually did an audit of my thoughts, and I realized some of it was funny. I noticed that something ridiculous, 70% of my thoughts were I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
That's her mantra.
Right?
Did you know that?
Literally, did you know that? And I was like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And we talked, and Laura's like, okay, we're going to give you a bedtime.
No more.
We did. So I set a bedtime and a wake-up time that was assured that I got an appropriate amount of sleep. And I just eliminated that from my thought vocabulary.
That just frees up 70% of her mental energy for dreaming instead of complaining. It's amazing.
I can't even tell you. It literally felt like that. It was like all of a sudden, I was like, there was moments of thoughtlessness now through the day.
The dream. It's awesome.
And I was just so present to one that it wasn't real. If it even tried to sneak back in, because I'd made that promise and I had committed to sleeping 8 hours or whatever it was, 7.5, I think we agreed on.
Right.
It was irrelevant. So I nipped it in the bud right away if it came up, and then it just stopped coming up. It's just not even a thing that comes up anymore.
She transformed her life overnight. It's so funny. We are smart enough to know that what we eat makes us feel a certain way, but we don't realize that what we think is even more influential on how we feel all day long. And we're only having 7 different thoughts all day, repetitive over and over again in different forms. If we don't do the thought log, we never see what those things are. And once you do the thought log and you summarize and you literally make percentages for the different kinds of thoughts you have, you see exactly where you need to intervene and either change a habit or a behavior or just change the thought. Either one works and changes how you feel in your life day to day in such a profound way. It's such a short period of time.
It's such the biggest instant shift ever. And I think the other thing I really love about it is the action steps. And I'll let you guys in on a somewhat embarrassing story that happened, but because I have these tools, I was able to nip it in the bud really fast. So a few days ago, I was having a moment, a very emotional moment in my life where I felt like my house was a mess, a bunch of things were a mess. And in my head, I kept on saying, oh my God, you are messing up adulting. You are just failing at adulting. And I caught myself, right? Because now I know what I hear that little crazy. And I was like, okay. So I stopped and I was like, what would it take? What would it take for me to not feel like I'm failing at adulting, right? And I literally wrote this list. It was the silliest list. I emailed it to her. And it was something like cleaning my car, creating a regular day of the week where I wash my floors and do house stuff, Make
sure you go to bed at bedtime.
Yeah, going to bed. It was it was really super basic things that were completely actionable and manageable. And just being able to say okay, I'm not allowing that thought, and then take counter action. I was like, okay, well now that thought, it was an instant life upgrade in what was minutes, really.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Poster child. Poster child for the Handel method right here. Listen to her. Be inspired.
So, do you have any other tips for these guys at home who are probably now really excited to start their own thought logs?
Do the thought log. Yeah, set a timer 3 times a day for 2 weeks. Get 15, 16 thoughts 3 times a day. You'll have hundreds and hundreds of thoughts, and then go read through. Find out your top 7 things you like to think about, and rerun over and over again, and then decide what does this suggest? Does this suggest a new rule, a new habit, Or can I simply call some of these thoughts illegal from now on because they just don't make me feel how I want to feel?
I love it. I love it. So try it on. Please, please, please. I mean, I can't recommend this enough. Just take the next week. Set timers on your phone. Just give yourself that gift. It's going to be such an upgrade. Even if you only extract one bad thought. Just one bad thought you extract at a time, and it'll be a complete upgrade. And it'll just, all of a sudden, you gain that momentum, and you learn how to do it, and you extract more and more. Thank you so much, Laurie. Thank you for being here. And again, please share with us in the comments below. I want to know, like, what were your most common thoughts? What are the thoughts that you're super excited to extract? I'll send you good energy. And if you need help, if you're like, oh, this thought's coming up and I don't know what to do about it, I'll be here paying attention. Maybe Laurie will get Laurie involved if we need her, right? And we'll help you get these thoughts out. So thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, check all the links below. I'm going to give you guys all the information so you can find out more about Laurie, more about Handel Group. Feel free, of course, as always, to ask me any questions. I'm happy to answer. I'm here to be of help. So thank you guys so much. Mwah! I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Happy thinking.